If you feel very called to change your life, I really highly suggest to read this book. Hi, and welcome to another episode of Wild and Woke Wednesdays, where I talk about stuff that just has been really changing my perspective of life, and I feel it's making me be a higher or better person of myself. Best. Skirt. Okay, anyways, hello, welcome. It is April 17th, 2019, and I just really want to talk about this book called The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up. If you know me, I do not read books at all, or it's actually been a minute since I read a book. I think the last time I read a book was 3-ish years ago, but when I pick a book and I read a book, that means it was very important to me. And so I've actually had this book since August 2016, but I randomly picked it up this past Sunday and I was like, I feel like reading a book. This one calls to me. And I freaking read it in 4 hours straight. Like I wasn't even planning to finish it, but I was just so hooked in this book. And I've heard a lot about Marie Kondo. I've heard about her Netflix show, and I've heard about her book. And before I wanted to watch the Netflix show, I definitely wanted to read this. And I'm so glad I did, because I think the reason why I picked up this book was because I was kind of, not really unhappy, but I was sitting in my bed just asking myself, what can I change? Because I feel like I'm not at my fullest potential right now. And so I thought about my space. I was like, okay, what can I change about it? And so picked up this book, and oh my God, it spoke to me. I like cried at the end. The last 2 pages I cried, no joke. And I really like this book because it relates tidying to your life, and how she talks about whenever her clients go through her tidying method, they don't rebound. And by rebound, she means when you tidy up, cool, it looks great for the day, and then the next day you just find out it's messy again. That's called a rebound. So with her clients and everyone that has gone through her method, the KonMari method, they never rebound. And I'm just like, whoa, that's really shocking. How is that possible? Because I mean, I go through that where I tidy the room, the office, and then I just find it messy again. And so one big thing that she talks about is that you have to change your mindset. And you're always in this space. And, you know, we can't help it. External things affect our mind. And she relates it to just the clutter. Most of us are clutter. Even though I am a minimal person, like the amount of material things I have is relatively minimal compared to an average person in the United States. I don't know. That's a fact I made up. Anyways, even though I'm a minimal person, it does not equate to you being tidy. You can be minimal and not be tidy, but you can be tidy and be minimal. And so that was one of the big things that really struck out to me. And basically she talks about how when you declutter your space, you declutter your mind. Because I'm the type of person who likes to, not so much hoard, but I like to collect memories, or at least I used to. And so one of the things I actually did to help prep for this was that I had drawers at my mom's house, and they were just filled with memories of like my old Key Club stuff, my raving days, old makeup that I haven't touched in years. And so I brought that home. I dumped it out. I don't know if it's in the frame, but they're used for our clothes now. By the way, if you don't know, me and Apollo share a room together, and an office together, and a bathroom together. So essentially those are the areas that we cleaned up. But the most important thing, well, one of the most important things that really stuck out to me is that you have to categorize by area. Or, no. Oh my God, cut that out. You categorize by categories. And you go through this KonMari method through categories, not by area. So by that, I mean category is clothing. And then like another category is books. And then another category is miscellaneous, or I don't remember the Japanese term right now, but she says in the book. And then another category is mementos, in that order. Because by going through this order, I feel like I'm all over the place right now. By going through this order, when you end up discarding things that no longer spark joy to you, which is a main overall encompassing lesson to learn, then it gets easier to hone in your decision-making skills. Once those mementos, those old photographs, those like old, just those old memories come back to you in physical form. And so, for example, I had a lot of candy from my raving days, and when you discard things, you have to touch them, because essentially you're giving yourself that moment of energy for that item. And that's when you ask yourself, does this spark joy? It's like a big meme that went around. But yeah, you have to actually say and touch, do you spark joy? And if you're kind of like, then it probably doesn't spark joy. But it was cool because I touched every single piece of my candy, and I was like, oh, this is cool. And if you don't know what candy is, they're just pretty much the beads that most people wear when they go to raves. And it was cool because there were some sayings that was like Ratchet Roro, because that was my old nickname, or like empathy or fiery. Anyways, it was cool to just go through those memories. And then most important thing is that when you do discard, you thank them. You thank them for the purpose that they had. You thank them for the memories. You thank them just for serving what it had to do for you, whenever that moment was. And I'm like, whoa, this is all stuff that is applicable to life. Because essentially when you're letting go of things that no longer serve you, you make space for more abundance and more opportunities to come your way. And oh man, it was just a lot. Like, I thought it was going to take 6 hours, but it's still like 10 hours and counting, because I'm still not done. I think that I'm pretty much 95% done with everything. Everything, not just like an area. But yeah, I can already feel like a sense of freshness in the air, lightness, and just overall happiness, because it really does change your life. I mean, that's a big, bold statement. I can't really say that right now because it just happened. But over time, I'll just monitor how I am, how I feel whenever I come home. Because I notice that whenever I come home, I'm kind of like, I'll just lay in bed, I don't want to do anything, blah, blah, blah. But if you create a space for yourself that you enjoy coming home to, and you enjoy the certain things that you're putting your mindset to, then it'll affect you. Or at least that's what my theory is. Because I haven't really experienced the new space, the refreshed space, not new, but the refreshed space. And it was crazy because all the clothes were all sprawled apart, all over the floor, all over the bed, and it really reminded me of the tarot card, or the Tower card in tarot, which is when you pretty much have everything fall down, that destruction, and you build it back up again to something that was even better. And that's what I feel like me and Apologist did with our space. So we did our like room in our house, and our bathroom and our office are the areas that we focus on, because those are ours. Essentially, those are just me and Apollos. Like, I didn't touch the kitchen because that's more of the communal household area. Didn't touch the living room, but any physical objects that were ours, we brought to the table and to the floor. And I feel like I'm just rambling. Oh my gosh, this is a lot for me to talk about because I'm just really overwhelmed, but a happy overwhelmed. And essentially what I'm trying to do, or what I'm trying to say, is that if you feel very called to change your life, I really highly suggest to read this book. And if you don't feel called to read it, then that's okay. But if you do, if there is something in there that was like, okay, I need to change something about my life. Why? If you're ever feeling like off or unhappy or just cluttered, overthinking, highly recommend this book. I haven't watched the Netflix show yet, so I can't really compare, but I love this book so much. Like, it is definitely one of my top reads. And like I said, I don't really read books, but this one really called out to me. I actually used to read a lot of books when I was little, but now I gravitate to books that really change my life and really give me value to making myself my best self. And so, highly recommend. All right. I just feel great. And I hope you feel great too. And if you don't feel great, that's also great. Just great all around. One big thing that I learned also was that once you do organize your space, only after you discard everything that no longer sparks joy. After you organize everything, make sure you have designated spots for your areas. One problem that me and Apollo always had was that we couldn't find our keys, or wallet was somewhere over there, our coins are here over there. But now we have a designated spot where we put my stuff from like my everyday use in my bag, and then his stuff. So I'm really excited for that. And some upcoming news. Oh, wait, is that everything that I have to say? Well, I vlogged the entire experience of the KonMari method, and that will definitely be coming sometime in the month of May. But I am actually going to release it on my Patreon. So go ahead and click the link below, Patreon. And if you want to see the entire vlog, please support. And I just hope that it'll give you some behind the scenes insider value of like how long it took, how to not beat yourself up if you didn't do anything exactly how KonMari method did. Because it is kind of hard if you don't actually have Marie Kondo standing with you and telling you, no, you must discard everything right now. And, it's okay. Just, if you have to do it for yourself, just click on my Patreon below. Or if you're watching this, it's not out yet. If you're literally watching this like right when it came out, it's not out yet. My Patreon is going to release sometime by the end of the month, because it is something that I am really looking forward to do, and I really want to keep doing these videos for you and hopefully instilling some value and knowledge that you can make applicable to your life. And I appreciate the support, but finances is something that I still need to do in this physical world. So if you please like to support me financially, like I said, click on the Patreon below in the description, or just type it in, patreon.com/RosemaryFajardo, when I do release it. And please consider being a patron. Wow, that's insane, because I never thought I would. I can't say it. It's not released. But I never thought I would consider creating a Patreon. And here I am, almost done. Just need to create the intro video and finalize the tiers. And yes. Okay, I'm just rambling now. I really hope I said everything that I needed to say. And thank you again for watching. what did I say again? Thank you for watching / listening. And I just really hope that you feel called to read this book sometime in your life, and maybe one day you'll feel called to tidy up your space and tidy it in a way where you change your life and make yourself have room for abundance in your life. And so I will see you next week. Bye.